everybody. It's Guiding Halo here. Hope you're all doing well today. Boy, has it been an up and down roller coaster day for me so far, and it's morning. Go figure that, hey? There might be something coming from the coming up emotionally from the past, where you're experiencing recurring feelings through somebody else in your life, something they're going through that is bringing up past memories for you that may take some real working through, or maybe even some tears. There will be justice, okay, if somebody has treated you wrong or illy, or perhaps we're even ill-advised to do so. Whoever's responsible for that will be brought justice, and part of that justice could be in you finding your freedom. Your heart is pure and free. A greater purpose calls you. You have unlimited reserves of stamina and strength. You follow the winds of change and accomplish your dreams. Wow, look at that. Sorry about the phone buzzing. Just see if I can fix it. Sorry about that, guys. Had to get my poop in a group, move some stuff around. All right, so anyway. So the freedom thing coming in again. Freedom to be who you are meant to be in every moment. I was just talking to somebody about this, about being you, the trueness of who you are, having the freedom, adopting the freedom, choosing in your life to have the freedom to be you regardless of what anybody thinks. Now that means whether you're standing in your truth, whether you're, you know, being compassionate and caring, whether people tell you you're walked on because of it, whatever it is, to be the trueness of who you are in any given moment. Next card out we have is Dragon, supernatural. You are the ancient wise sage. You can shape shift at will. Mastery is your destiny. Rise with dignity. Is this about mastering the trueness of who you are and understanding that who you are is meant for absolute purpose, regardless of where you're living, who you're living with, who you face in each given day? See, for me, in my life, I rent a room so much more so from choice. Well, a lot of times I think it is. Sometimes I think it would be nice to hermitize. However, it's like I force myself into a situation where I'm around other people. And part of the reason I feel very led to do that is because I know that I can be of greatest impact for others in doing just that. Also, I know that the greatest shifts in change come through freedom. And the shift and the spiritual growth and everything else, when I have people to bounce things off of, my spiritual growth goes through the roof, which is one of the reasons it's beautiful to have this channel. So where are we? There's something here about having the freedom to live as you choose to live, having the freedom to be as you choose to be, understanding that there's something here about the supernatural, and it's very wise for you to do exactly as you feel you need to do right now. If it's hermitizing and there's the freedom in that, then absolutely that's what you should do. So it's not about one or the other. It's about what works best for you and where you can live and find your truth moving forward. It's so very important. You are the ancient wise sage. You can shape shift at will. See, being malleable, being fluid through everything. Even as the pressure, as I talked about yesterday, builds up in the water flows gently around the rock. It doesn't, you know, destroy the rock. It just builds up the pressure and gently moves around. It finds the path of least resistance to flow. And that's what being in the flow means. And there's something about mastering that here. I'm not going to say there's not excitement, there's not nerves even, or concern about how things will turn out. But if you walk in the faith and the trust that every moment of every day brings you to exactly where you're supposed to be, and that you have absolute purpose on this planet and being who you are, and that you chose here to come be who you are, and that maybe the things that you beat yourself up about maybe you should be more this, should be more that. If you embrace who you are and live in that truth, walking forward, perhaps that's who you came here to be in this existence that you're in. So the more you honor who you are, I feel, at this point in time especially, the more movement there will be created forward in your life towards the things that you desire, okay? Now, keep in mind that in being fluid, how those things that you desire, how they come to you, may be very different than you expect them to be, okay? So keep your mind fluid that way too. It doesn't have to look a certain way. It can be however the divine wants it to look, you know. And when you remove the expectation of how something's going to look or which direction it's going to take, that's when you actually open up the channels even more so to what the divine can bring to you. It's in the process of allowing, right? Releasing expectation brings forward the process of allowing and the process of least resistance into the picture. To heal this situation, see the other person's point of view with compassion. So someone may be coming to talk to you about a situation that's they've felt hurt or upset, or perhaps you wanted to do that yourself as well. And there might be some miscommunication that goes on, or things that happen during Venus retrograde that perhaps, you know, maybe you wish wouldn't have happened. But there could be communication coming forward, and you have the ability to shape-shift at will. So being the ancient wise sage, and you do so through freedom, I think someone might not have understood the freedom that you need, the balance that you have between the shape-shifting energy. It's kind of like a balance. This ability to shape-shift is something that you've mastered, and you've created a balance, a beautiful ebb and flow, or you want to create that, between your freedom and what other people might see as keeping them stuck. Someone might have let you go because, or thought that you weren't the one for them, or vice versa, or you might have thought that because, how do we say? It might have been a conversation like this. Well, you're a free spirit, and I knew that I could never keep you with me, but it has nothing to do with you being a free spirit. The true free spirit chooses where it wants to be. And you may want to be somewhere, and choose to be somewhere, but it's absolutely by choice. It's not by have to. And someone may have viewed your choice to move forward as you choosing freedom as opposed to choosing them. But in actuality, what you chose is soul health. You chose what is best for your soul. It wasn't a choice between them or somebody else, or your freedom or them. Perhaps it was a choice as to not be abused any longer emotionally. Perhaps it was a choice to an act of standing up for yourself, or that sort of thing. But you have the ability to shape shift at will. What looks to somebody else as freedom looks to you as perhaps being stuck, but it's almost like the ability to find the freedom within any situation you're in, and understanding that your personal freedom does not hinge on who's in your life and who's saying what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Your personal freedom comes by choice to be where you choose to be. So being with somebody else and choosing to be with that person is absolutely freedom of what? Choice. And to be able to shape shift at will to create what you want to move forward to do. It's like, and not allowing others to stop you from doing that based on what their opinions are or whichever. but there's a situation here that may need healing, or at least understanding. There has been a lack of understanding. And to help heal this situation, you got to see the other person's point of view with compassion and absolutely understanding, but they very well may see things that you chose your freedom instead of being with them, or that perhaps they chose their freedom instead of being with you. But there's a disconjointed energy there between what's actually happening and what you think has happened. Okay? And you have the knowledge and the wherewithal to take care of this situation in any given moment that you choose to. Perhaps it's about teaching others how to shape shift at will as well. And someone is going to learn something through the moves you have made, the trajectory you have chosen and taken and will take. It's not about, freedom is not about one or the other. It's about finding personal freedom within life, within each situation you're in, whether you're in a marriage, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're in all those sorts of things. Understand that the freedom you have the freedom of choice to even be in that relationship. And the fact that you're in that relationship is you choosing your freedom. People think that I'm in a relationship, so I'm stuck. I don't have any freedom. Actually, you're in that relationship and you chose to get into it because it was a choice. You have freedom of choice, you know. So it's a different way to look at the relationship situation. Well, if I wasn't in this relationship, I would do X, Y, Z. Well, how about because you're in that relationship, you do A, B, C? What can you start that is new and beautiful in that relationship? What can you create with your partner? What can you create moving forward? It's going to take change. It's going to take change. Whether on your part or their part or both of you coming to a place where you can work together and have understanding. Now, this could be a work relationship. In a work situation, it could be that you want the freedom to create and your boss is like, no, I see it this way. And you say to them, well, you know what? Perhaps there's been a rift in understanding and communication with Venus retrograde. So now we're heading into Mercury retrograde, where for a lot of people, communication is askew. They don't know how to process their words. There's a disjointedness there with communication, especially, you know, online and such. So keep that in mind as well. I've already had my first Mercury retrograde issue online, so and it's a wobble going into Mercury retrograde because I was born during Mercury retrograde, so therefore, you know, it is what it is. But there's adversity here. See the gifts in challenge. Are you seeing that gift in challenge? One can be taught within the calm, but the greatest lessons are learned from the storms. And why is that? Because it teaches you to shapeshift. This is a mastery thing, learning to shapeshift, and that the storm doesn't mean anything is bad or negative. The storm actually means that you are ready to embrace this shape-shifting energy and to create a happy outcome in the midst of the storm. There is always an eye in the middle of the storm, my friends. If you look at a storm like this, look at this. This is beautiful. I just got this information. There's a storm, and in the middle is an eye. The anger and the frustration that builds up on the outset as you go into the storm, and the fear that someone decides, say, let's go speak their truth or whichever it is, and they go through that part of the storm, and there's all this conflict and turbulence and crap and whatever, and everybody's like working against each other, you know, walls are hit, and everybody doesn't know how to form, and maybe it's like, well, in the eye of the storm, you enter into the eye of the storm, and maybe everybody goes back to their corners, okay? And I'll take a break, we all take a breather, and then as that stops, then we get back and we communicate and we decide how it is. Once we've had time to think, we decide how it is we're gonna move forward, how it is we're gonna move forward, if we're gonna move forward with this storm. Okay, now the only way out of the eye of the storm is to either stay in the eye of the storm until the storm vanishes, and you got to follow whatever the eye of the storm is going, and the storm will vanish eventually, whatever situation is going on in your life. And then, or you can choose, a lot of people will choose to come together and find that way to travel through the rest of the storm and get to the outside and have a better understanding of how togetherness actually works. Shape-shifting at will. Right here, shape-shifting at will. That's the best way I can explain shape-shifting at will. It's like when you come together and decide to move forward, it's about changing your ideas and your stance, not the base value of who you are, or the base value of what you want, but this, seeing the other person's point of view with compassion and having them do the same. It's imperative to have them do the same so that you can move forward. See the gifts and challenge. One can be taught with the calm, within the calm, but the greatest lessons are learned from the storms. So what storm are you learning from? There's a quest somebody's on. I can see the two that are going to come together. Something's going to happen here. Something that happened maybe even just before Venus went retrograde, or even a month before that, when we had other planets start to go retrograde. I'd say mid-April, end of March, between mid-March and mid-April for a lot of people. And this even could have stemmed back from the January eclipses. I'm going to go back that far because we're in eclipse season now, so 6 months, right? So be bold and mighty forces will aid you. Take action. Good luck favors the brave. So you see, I see two people or a circumstance or a situation that's going to decide to come together. It's going to try and see how they can move forward together and how they can calm and heal the situation. But the lessons that have been learned in the challenge, this is freedom to choose to learn the lessons in adversity. To understand that you've come through the first part of the storm, and this could be in a situation where there's been no communication between people. Perhaps it's an employer situation with the whole crisis that's happened. There's been no communication and someone's feeling completely dropped. Coming together to heal the circumstance, to bring two people together to see, or a job or whichever, to see how you're going to move forward and how you're going to go through the rest of the storm. Okay, so yeah, how we're going to move through the rest of the storm together. How are we going to shape shift at will? Be bold. Mighty forces will aid you. Take action. Good luck favors the brave. What do you need to be brave about? What do you need to heal? What do you need to do? What do you need to do to move forward? So let's see where the divine's trying to activate our hearts. Power of Love activation cards by James Van Praagh. Now this is I think it's the Magical Times Empowerment cards, these ones, and these ones this is your angel message cards, and this one here is the animal something or other that you'll find in the thing below. Release. You have the ability to give over unwanted energies to the loving forces of the universe. And I believe that's what's happened here. I believe that's what's happened in the past. Could be the past couple months. And I think that you're coming into that. Well, this is what's happened in the last couple months, and coming into this release is what's going on rather now. And it's going to bring satisfaction. You let the energy of love guide you to self-approval so that others no longer define who you are. Look at that. This is what I was talking about, honoring who you are and standing in the power of who you are and understanding that you are who you are for exact divine purpose. Divine purpose and divine reason. This is all about healing here, I would say, right now, today. Deeper energies. What is this? What's Spirit trying to do here? What's coming from past lives? What's going on? This is the Egyptian deck. Isis, I think, something like that deck. Let's see what's going on here. What's going on deeper here? What's the deeper quest? What's this adversity bringing us towards this deeper quest? What is this about, please? Portal of light. It is only the physical reality that is bound by time and space. You are a conscious being on levels beyond the physical world. You are guided to work with your healing powers beyond the confines of time and space. You will not become ungrounded through such spiritual work. You are not leaving your earthly connection behind. You are merely adding to it. You have powers to heal, my friends. powers to heal a situation, powers right now to end up in this airy energy of, look at how the cards all match in color. Anyway, perhaps you're dealing with crown chakra energy with somebody right now. You have the power to heal. You're a portal of light, bringing forth light, truth, understanding through the adversity, showing people how to be the best version of themselves. You're on a quest to shapeshift at will. It is your destiny in this mastery. You need to rise with dignity in who you are. Be bold. Be bold, my friends. Be bold. I feel like I have not been bold enough in a certain circumstance and situation, although I don't know that it would create change in that circumstance and situation, or if it's even worth the time. But there's unanswered questions, and where there's unanswered questions, I would say it's always worth the time. All right. Divine Sunchild, blessings of the sun flow to you now. It is time to allow your life to flourish without limits, to let your light burn bright and without veil. Just like the midsummer sun burning without contest in the Egyptian desert, it is your time to shine bright. So where can you shine bright? Where are you being asked to shine bright? Where have you been denying your brightness? Where have you been denying your shine? Because there, you are here for absolute divine purpose, and you are here to shine. There's something where you have been denying your shine, and it needs to be healed. It needs to be healed. Yeah, it does. All right. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, our postcard from Spirit went flying all the way somewhere. Let me go fishing for it. So when you're out fishing, whoever's heading out fishing soon, when you're out fishing, there's something here that's going to come to you as you're meditating, because that's what fishing is. It's meditating. Just so y'all know, when your man says, I need to go fishing, it's meditation. So allow him to go fishing. Or you women, I love fishing. Dearest you, pump up the music, bang the drums, get on up and start that hustle toward your goals and dreams. There are times to be still, but this is not one of them. Now is the time to make that first move. Say yes to life. Pick up the phone. Make that decision and take that one step toward the gods or us. Expect a cascade of changes, good news, and opportunities to show up as if by magic. Well, we know it's really Spirit and all of us moving things around for your benefit. The point is that we are saying go for it. Take positive action towards your dreams. Even if the outcome isn't an exact fit for your agenda, it will all be orchestrated by Spirit and arrive in divine appropriate timing. Don't you just love how it all works? We love you so, so much. This is what the divine has on offer for you. So I guess I have a challenge for you guys. And herein lies the challenge. Create the healing. And go get him, Tiger. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.